Hey guys, Batman here, and gotta get a little serious, you guys here. It's really, we're talking about superpowers here, and the superpowers needed to like crush it in business and in life. And I'll tell you something, it is, really challenging to be a superhero when people make fun of you for not having real mutated superpowers. And this is where Iron Man and I kind of get along. But at the end of the day, the superpower is in you, in your heart. And I'm gonna show you right now how you're gonna figure out what your superpower is, all right? Okay, man, man, there's the bat signal. Come with me. We're gonna save people who don't need to be saved. As always, haha! Pew! What's up guys, thank you for checking out this video. There's gonna be some cool entrepreneurial tips and tricks here. This is part of a Kidpreneurship course for parents I recorded. So if you want to check out the entire course, module 1 is right over here. Or you can check out our regular actual YouTube videos which shares tips, tricks, roadmaps, strategies to help you build profitable businesses. Lastly, this is a non-for-profit YouTube channel, so 100% of YouTube AdSense revenue will be donated to legal registered charities that support youth entrepreneurship. So the more we share, the more we care. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get on with the video. Peace. What's up? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here today. What is going on with superpowers? I mean, Batman actually said something pretty intelligent just now, believe it or not. You don't need to be an Iron Man to have superpowers. That's right. What a bright guy, that guy. Oh my goodness, no wonder he's so amazing. Always saving the world and Gotham City and all that. But this is gonna be a really quick one. Well, we'll see how quick it is. I'm going by by the seat of my pants, right? So you guys know that already. What? When we talk about superpowers, this is something that I do with myself for a very long time now, and my friends know this too. But this is something I also do as a parent, and I keep this kind of like inside my head. I kind of write it down when I have conversations with my kids, and I take note of it. And now that they're a bit older, 2 of them have started this on their own. The other 2 have not yet, more because I haven't really brought it up, but they do know about this. So check this out. Gifts. We all have superpower. We all have gifts. G-I-F-T-H. It all stands for something. And here's my lovely acronym. First, G-I-F-T. As you can see, G-I-F-T. G is given by your loved ones. These are gifts that are given by your loved ones. Next is gifts that are innate in your soul. The following one is gifts that are by failures you've achieved. And from teachings, whether it be education or self-taught, like through passion, a hobby, things like that. These are all things that define your gifts. That's what I say, your superpower is within these 4 areas. And the funny thing is that when you actually know what your superpowers are, sometimes it's so natural, it's so organic, you have no idea, right? And when I go through this thing where I think about all the gifts given by my loved ones, the ones where I feel it's innate in my soul, and the ones where from all the failures I've achieved, and then from school, teachings in school, education, but also what do I spend time on teaching myself? Like I think about all those things, and all those things are part of my gifts. They're all part of my superpower. And what I believe is that when you are your full being, nothing really matters. And I let my kids know that nothing defines them except for who they are. They define themselves not even by the little actions they do. It's this aggregate that creates an image that no one can actually define and put a box around.
Wow.
Even like when someone paints, we talk about a painting, how you see the strokes, you see the entire image when the painting is done. You can't actually pixelate it the way the digital technology is. It's just not the same, And some people argue, I know you tech guys will argue.
To the question, bro, he asked about 2 5-hour energies. You gotta think about that. That's what he's trying to trick you at, bro. 2 5-hour energies, they weigh 10 ounces apiece. That means you can have 13 hours of energy throughout the day, you stupid ass dummy. Go to gym class.
Bro, how can you, what are you talking about?
But the entire point here is that when we start identifying these things, it's meant to just trigger some kind of a subconscious feeling that's deep inside that speaks to us every day, right? And so when I have conversations with my kids, we talk about what they feel I provide for them. And as I showed you guys earlier in an earlier module, the fatherhood stuff is really cool, but even the entrepreneurship and health and wellness, when they came down, they looked at the list too. And what was really cool was how they expressed how much they learned on the entrepreneurship and the health and wellness side, right? And they felt that those were gifts that was given to them by a loved one, which is me, right? What's interesting is innate. Innate is somewhat maybe difficult because sometimes you can't even accept what's innately part of you. I'll take myself, for example. My brother, my sister, and I, we all grew up in the same house, came from the same set of parents, but yet what's innate between all three of us is completely different. And I didn't really think about it, and I didn't draw awareness to it until way later on. And then I thought about it and talked with my mom, of course, and if my late dad was around, I would have asked him as well. But I've had so many conversations with my mom, more so in the last probably since 8, 10 to about last decade, I've had a lot of deep conversation with my mom. And I would ask things like, what did you notice about me that just was consistent throughout, even as a child? And she said to me, she's like, you're always this caring guy. Like, it's like inside of you, the way you care about people.
Oh my God! Wow!
You know, my brother and my sister obviously both care about people, but when you think about it, you know, he didn't pursue medical school, but my sister and I considered medical school for sure. We both went into volunteers and we both did fundraising together. We both did everything right to pursue medical school. Neither of us ended up pursuing it though. But what was consistent with me was I was at large still getting heavily involved with the community. I was involved with helping people who are at risk or at need, and it was like my main thing. I ran businesses to give me the freedom to support others in need. So the core to that though was since I was a kid, innately in me was that. The other thing that's innate in me was she's like, somehow you can just watch something and imitate it. And I'll share you almost another story about myself, which is Michael Jackson. You saw me with the fedora in the past one, right? Bang.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm gonna take you to my little shrine back here that no one, well, you know, some people see, but there you go. That's MJ right there, right? That's MJ over there. It's my late father, he's the man. R2-D2, of course. MJ again over here. I don't know if you can see it with the lighting, but MJ's my boy, and Michael Jackson was such a huge inspiration for me. But what was interesting that my mom said was that back in the day, we're talking the 80s here, 84, 85, 86, before MTV and Much Music, right? There was a show called Friday Night Videos with Samantha Taylor, and it's only half an hour, 5 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. And I was addicted to this show, and it only aired once a week. So that's 52 weeks, let's say, to be able to watch it, 52 times half an hour. And in those 52 shows, I tried never to miss it because I would hope that a Michael Jackson video would come on. And by the way, I might be setting myself up for something really bad here, but I just waited until I saw one of his videos and I just visually tried to remember every single move he did. And the moment it was done, I probably would see that video for another 2-3 weeks, and I was in front of the mirror just trying to bust it like Mike. Excuse me. And so many people also did the same thing, but my mom felt that part of my, superpower that was innate in me was I could look, visualize, and mimic it and copy it finessively too. So even in sports, I was never the best athlete in everything. I did well in sports overall, but visually, I looked like a great player. My technique for volleyball was nice. The way I moved the ball around with soccer was good. My basketball shot is nice. Accuracy sucks, but the shot technique is beautiful, I think at least. I better ask my buddy over at Shot Mechanics or I Love Basketball TV. But even, my sets, my volleyball, my spikes, everything is finesseful the way I do it because I could look at something and just know exactly what to do in my body to make it look just like that. So again, I look at my kids and I try to observe what I find is innate as well. And even them, they could tell me what they feel comes natural to them because typically what comes natural is what's innate, right? Next is failures you achieved. I love using the word achieved in it. I started using the word achieved probably, we're talking 23 years ago when I was about 22. And it came from a mentor of mine. And so I've been using it ever since, and poof, I pass it on to my kids and we talk about what failures we achieve. And we frame failures very differently, which I mentioned it as part of the core skills, which is when you push to grow, you have to fail. Today, this very minute, the day that I'm filming this video, earlier during dinner, my son and I spoke about failure. He's 8 years old, but we spoke at it for the first time at a whole new level. He was doing some dictation, you speak French, you know, when you read kids' words and they write it out and they spell it out. So we went through this, and then this was the morning, we re-looked at it, and he looked at where he went wrong, and then he did it again, right? I gave him the same sheet, and we tried to do the exact same words to see if he got the words right. What was interesting was that he got the word dauphin, dolphin, because in French, the sound O can be done by 3 different types of writing. Just the letter O, AU, or EAU. Those 3 combinations still make the sound O. So dauphin, dolphin, dauphin.
2,000 years later.
And he got it wrong again, and he said, you know what? I'm like, oh, he saw the X there, and he says, that's okay. I made a mistake. I tried. I'm gonna try again. This is the only way I could spell the word correctly. I was like, wow. It was literally the first time he spoke with that perspective, right? And I used to bring it up to him, and he's like, yeah, that's right, Daddy, it's right. But this is the first time he brought it up. And so I'm already seeing the shift in him that I see in my other kids. Sometimes failure does knock us down. I'm not saying like when we hit a wall, we get up right away. We all hit a wall to this day. We all come home and we open up to each other, hence maintaining open communication earlier that I spoke in the earlier module. But we approach it and we bounce back so much better because we see it very differently. So when you have discussions about the failures we achieve, if they're not jotting down and you can jot it down, that would be great. To have your own little document for each child like this, it'd be pretty cool. And sometimes I don't have it all updated on my Google Doc for each kid. Sometimes I just record on my phone at the moment, but eventually it gets transcribed onto my Google Doc. Pretty cool. And do I forget sometimes? Yeah, I do. In fact, on my phone right now is still sitting a whole bunch that I haven't transferred over yet. And it's from a few years ago, right? But I don't stop it. I keep adding to this. And last thing is teachings. Even for myself, I find how am I distracted? Funny thing is this kidpreneur thing was at one point felt like a distraction to other people because I was just so interested, and I was, you know, when someone asked me, I would just hop on a call, stop work, and then I was just like, oh my goodness, this is so awesome that this person's coming up to me for advice. This is great, right? And so then I decided to just do that until it reached a point where I realized that it's a gift that I have I can offer people. It's one of my superpowers that I spent time accumulating experience, and not just by myself, but with a community of parents who have been doing this last 4 or 5 years, really drawing from lessons from even years ago, 10, 20 years ago, right? So that is a gift as well, right? The stuff that we teach ourselves, but also I did math, I did accounting, I did engineering, I did science. This all has to be included in part of who I am. So when you think about superpowers, you know, helping your kids and yourself learn about your superpowers, I use this as a guide, and it's been so rewarding, and it's so been enlightening and eye-opening as you do this with yourself and your kids. So guys, hopefully you apply this GIFT in your life and with your kids. Use appreciative inquiry, value inquiry to kind of draw this information out. Again, you see how I always go back to the power of these questions, right? And what I hope is, even intuitively, instinctively, without writing anything down, you're gonna help each other discover and celebrate each other's superpowers. And the next step is choosing which superpower, because I don't believe we have one superpower. If they say, what's your best superpower? I don't believe in that. I'm anti what's your best superpower. I believe what is your best superpower you can leverage when supporting someone in dire need emotionally? What is your superpower to support someone in dire need physically? What is your superpower to support a business that's falling apart? What is your superpower to support, getting a roof fixed, right? I mean, all this is a fair question, but say, what's your main superpower? I don't believe in it. That's just my theory. All right, peace out. Here's to your superpower. Really think about what you can do next right away applying GIFT. Peace.